Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to today's video where I'm going to be doing a mid-year flip through of my 2024 reading journal. So I started this reading journal at the beginning of this year. This is an 8x8 inch Archer and Olive and I do love it. I really love the size of it. You can do really fun spreads in here. It's a really good size for me. Last year I had an A5 and I liked it, but I fell off with it kind of midway through the year. I didn't love the size. I felt there were changes I wanted to make. And for the setup for this one, and I'll link the video in the cards, put my heart and soul into the beginning of this journal. I really did. I did fall off with it at about March. So just being really transparent with you, that's generally in my personality. But I've made a really solid effort to catch up with it and I am now up to date, and so I thought it would be really nice to show you what I've done so far and just give you my thoughts on what's worked, what hasn't. Particularly if any of you are starting a mid-year reading journal, it might be that it gives you some inspiration of spreads I think are really useful and will work for you, and some that, you know, maybe you want to avoid. But hopefully either way you'll get some ideas, or it will just be fun to get a little bit of an update on my reading journal and how my reading's been so far this year. When we open up, I did just cut this page out. I do need to do a bit of a neater job with it, to be honest, but it had a sort of intro page and I just thought it would be nice to be able to open up and go straight to this. These papers, I just got like a scrapbook paper set. They're nothing fancy. I think is a stamp, but I can't think what stamp it is. But I think they're probably just stamps I got from Amazon that I stamped on just some normal sticker paper that I got from Amazon as well and stuck it in. And then all of these stickers are from Marigona Suli, who is a beautiful artist, and she's really my whole inspiration for this reading journal. I've used so many of her stickers, could not recommend enough. Super lovely person, really talented, so you'll see a lot of her stickers throughout. For the setup pages, I went for this brown and pink theme, and you'll have me talk a lot more about that in the setup video if you go back and watch that. But I'm so happy with how this came out and I really love this as a colour combo. On the first page, I have my reading goals. Let's do a little bit of a check-in, shall we, on my reading goals so far. So first is read 100 books. I've read 60 so far, so I think that should be absolutely fine. I'm filming this in the middle of July. I think that's definitely doable. Physical TBR under 150. I would assume I'm way off. I've bought quite a lot of books this year, so I've not read a lot of physical books, so I reckon I'm not hitting that at the moment. Reduced my NetGalley TBR to 2. So at the beginning of the year, I had a huge NetGalley TBR. Pleased to say I've smashed this. I have 2 books that are left on there that still need to be read. So we are at NetGalley TBR to 2. DNF if not enjoying, I've definitely done that. I did have to DNF a lot of the NetGalley books, unfortunately, but at least it means that I'm not forcing myself to read stuff I don't want to read. So I definitely think I've got a lot better with that. Purchase no more than 12 physical books is the biggest stroke ever. I feel like if my friend Liz watches this, she's going to really laugh because I could easily buy 12 books in one sitting. So absolutely not hit that. Buy Kindle books at 99p. So what this means is only buy Kindle books when they're on sale. I would think I've hit that. I don't think I've paid more than 99p for any Kindle book so far this year. And then I also had a goal to read 12 Kindle Unlimited books. So I did have a Kindle Unlimited subscription at the beginning of the year, but I have cancelled that. So I will still tick them off because I have a dedicated spread for it, but it's not like it's really a goal now because I'm not paying for the subscription anyway. But I think it would be good to see whether I would have read them if I had the subscription. Then I have this reading tracker. Also, sorry if you can hear, it's really windy here today. I'm hoping it's atmospheric, but it's too hot to film in here without the doors open. This is my reading tracker. So this I was going to track what days I read. I wish I could keep up with this, but I just can't. I don't look in this reading journal enough to track it this way. I don't track it in my other planners in a way that has worked for me yet. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wipe that one off for the year. Then we go to my bookshelf spread. In my original setup video for this, I do have links to all of the places that I got inspiration from for this journal, so please do check that out. And I'll try and remember to relink things down below if I can. But a lot of this was inspired by other people's journals. I had a playlist I was inspired by, but this was inspired by a creator. And I really like this. I'm obviously really leaning into the browns and pinks here. I think it is slightly problematic though in that it's very brown. Like I went with the pinks being half stars, and actually I rate full stars way more than I do half stars, so it's really brown. There's not a lot of pink going on, so that would be something that I would want to change for next year, because I really love to have a shelf spread, but I don't love quite how brown it is. But it's still very cute, and I really love visually how it looks. I think it's so striking. And yeah, so I've read an additional 1 or 2 books I think since this spread, but like it's pretty much up to date. Then I have my 24 books in 2024. I'm doing a terrible job with this. This is a mixture of physical books and Kindle books that I want to read. And as you can see, I've read 3 of them. I gave Icebreaker 4.5 stars. Tea Dragon Society 5. It's not really a 5-star, I don't think, unfortunately. It's probably more like a 4, but very cute. And then True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren, I gave a 4. So I'd need to try and read some of these before. Oh, I've now read this as well, so now go tell. But this is like by a family friend, so I'm not actually going to rate it, but I have read that as well. So I've read 4. But yeah, it would be good to read some of these. It's only me holding this to myself really for the year, so it doesn't matter if I don't, but it would be nice to read a few more of them. Then I have my 12 recommendations from 12 friends, which I've not read a single one, which is embarrassing. And I'm very grateful to the people that did suggest books, but I think I just was trying to do too many things this year, and this has not been what I've prioritised. But there are some of them that I would really like to get to in the second half of the year, especially Brush with Love, One Last Stop, Night Circus are 3, and Quiet Girl in a Noisy World. Those are 4 books I own physically. So even if I could just get to those 4, that would be really good. But I will, I think, carry over any to next year that I don't read this year. Then I have my Kindle Unlimited TBR. As I said, I don't have my Kindle Unlimited subscription anymore, but I had this spread made anyway. I've read 2. I've read Love Like Farms and Flawless, both of which I enjoyed. It's interesting that I gave Love Like Farms a 4 and Flawless a 4 though, because this is a much stronger 4 than that's a 4. So I think my rating system's actually really off right now. And you saw in here, I tried to put my star rating system to help me with rating books, but I think my ratings are a bit wacky right now, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, I'll have to have a think about that. I do own quite a lot of these physically. So my brother's getting me this one for my birthday. I own Mile High. I own West Side Love Story. I own Collide. I own Behind the Net. Is that all of them? Yeah, but you know, there's definitely some where even without buying them on Kindle or having Kindle Unlimited, I could read this year. This is my priority series tracker. So this is where series where I only have like 1 or 2 books left in the series, I put them on here to try and make some progress. So I finished Sad Ghost Club. Why have I highlighted number 6 there? I don't think I've read that. Have I read it? In real time count, because I don't know when this video will go out, I have put Lore Olympus Volume 6 on my reading list for this week that I'm in. Have I read it? Okay, I might need to go back and review whether I've actually read that. But anyway, better read it this week. I finished this duology, this manga, Beauty and the Beast. I finished the Roommate series by Rosie Danon. I've just finished Unfortunately Yours. I finished that today in Cat's Time. I am over halfway through Scandar. I finished off this, I don't know what this series is called, but the second one was The Love Wager. I'm up to date, although number 3 comes out really soon in the Belladonna series by Aileen Grace, but that I could definitely do this year. It's really easy audio listening. So I'm doing pretty well, I think, with my priority series for the year. Then I have this, which is like my read your shelves tracker. So I listed out every physical book on my TBR at the point of January, and then I've been sticking in the book covers where I've read those books physically. If they're grayed out, it's because I DNF'd them. As you can see, I'm not doing a great job. These ones are all ones that I bought this year that I've just been adding in, which I'm not sure I should have added them in because it kind of goes against the point of the challenge, to be honest. But it's now sort of just become a tracker of like every physical book that I've read this year, which is not enough. And then here was where I was going to write the 12 books that I bought this year, but we've gone so way beyond that that's just a write-off now. That cute little me thinking I wouldn't buy a load of books this year. Then I have my anticipated reads of 2024. I'm doing a pretty good job with these. The Catch I gave 3 stars, which is a real shame because I really loved the other 2 in this series. I DNF'd The Love Interest, 5 stars to Tangled Up in You. This is my favourite book of the year so far. And I gave 3 stars to Red Side Story. That was a disappointment. And I gave 5 stars to Bride. Books that are out that I could have read. Funny Story is out but not in paperback yet, so I'll forgive myself for that. I need to check in about The New Girl because I don't really see people talk about that. I do own Lore Olympus, I own Fangirl, I own Not in Love, and I am going to soon be getting the rule book. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with this, and if I can read a few more then great, but you know, I'm pretty happy with that. Then we have my arc tracker spread. So yeah, I do have Heart and Mercy 2 and Business Casual that are like the 2 that I've not read yet. And the release date of this got delayed, but I still didn't read it in time. So, but I need to read Heart and Mercy 1 in order to read that, and I still need to read the 3rd in the Love Light Farms. So I've got a little bit of work to do there, but in the main, I'm really happy with how this is going. I cracked on, I focused my reading at the beginning part of the year, and you can see that I did DNF a fair number of them, but I'm fine with that. And I found some really, really amazing reads through the, and you know, I do really like getting arcs for this reason. Fool Me Once, I have read The Boyfriend Candidate as well. I just love this series. Next of Kin, amazing book. Really, really like, I think Hannah Bonham Young's writing is just amazing. Really love The Getaway List. That's a YA. So yes, there's been a bit of a run of DNFs. A little bit of a run. But I did find some really good books through reading my NetGalley TBR. Then I have my favourite reads. So this is where I just take out my favourite book of each month that I read. So for January, I went for Yellowface. And February I went for Daisy Jones. I talk about these quite a lot in various videos at the moment, so I won't go on about them, but really, really recommend. Really good audiobook listening experiences. Had to Be Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Look, Ali's my girl and I love Bride. It was just, I love her moving into this genre. Flawless, I didn't have a great reading month in April. We'll get there, we'll talk about it, but I really enjoyed the experience of reading Flawless, and I think other books in this series will be 5 stars. Icebreaker, really enjoyed, gave it 4.5 stars. Really, really fun read. And then I only read 2 books in June, so there wasn't a lot of choice, but I really did enjoy Book of Dust, which is the prequel to the His Dark Materials trilogy. So yeah, I think, you know, this is a good set of favourite books for each month. Then I have just like some other challenge spreads. I think I need to really rein myself in next year because I can't do this many challenges. I don't actually read enough to do this many challenges. So one thing I was trying to do was the Bingo Board from Hell, which is by Leanne from Literary Diversions. And this just was too complicated to track. I think if it was the only challenge I was doing, fine. But because it's like, oh, read 10 audiobooks and 10 physical books, I just then kept forgetting where I tracked up to, and then I tried to list them out and it just got confusing. So I might at the end of the year go through and work out if I achieved all of them, but I'm not focusing on it because I have so many other challenges. So it kind of was just pointless to add in, to be honest. But this one I really enjoy because this is the like romance book trope. And I'm not trying to complete the whole board, really. I'm just seeing what ones I have read. And then you'll see that I'm marking the books down here. There are some where like I think I will mark Unfortunately Yours, which I just read, off for fake dating. So that'll be really good to mark that one off because I've read actually a lot of books this year with fake dating. It's just they had other tropes that I prioritise because I read a lot of fake dating. But yeah, or actually I could do, they're not really rivals. Like rivals to lovers is a hard one because it's different to enemies to lovers. It's more like academic rivals and stuff, which I've not really read so far. But yeah, anyway, in general, this is just really fun. I just like to see what ones I've read so far over the year, so we'll see if I can complete. I've not got a bingo anyway yet so far. Like I've not got a line of 5, but like we could get a line of 5 here, could get a line of 5 here, you know, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So then we get into my monthly spreads. So this is my January spread, which is I mean, they're all kind of witchy, to be honest. That's mostly what Marangona draws, but this one is a kind of yeah, like purpley pink. I went for one that felt a little bit wintry. And then for the spreads, I do a cover page. The foil scripts are from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code CAT to save 10% on your orders and add my name in notes to seller to pick up a seasonal freebie. So yeah, I really love how these have come out, and I've just like found patterns online, and I've just layered them, stuck them in, and then stuck stickers from the sticker sheet around and just drawn a bit with pen. And then I've done a calendar for each month, and I've marked out how long it took me to read the books, and then I've marked the books here using this little printout, and I'll try and remember to link this shop down below. And then I also have been marking my YouTube and Instagram stats. You'll see my Instagram mostly goes down. Like, I think Instagram is the hardest platform to be making content on at the moment, and it's not really where I invest my time. I invest more of my time in YouTube, so it's been nice to see that my YouTube has been going up, but I'm not really paying that much attention to this. I just thought it would be interesting to see what it's like each month, but it's not something I'm like actively really working on. What is going on here with my book? I don't know what that is. Something sticky, I think, that I need to try and rub off. But anyway, so for the rest of my January spread, so I've put all my book covers and I've put my individual star ratings, so you're able to see what books I've read each month. Wow, I only gave that a 1 star. Oh, I was feeling harsh. And then I have graphs where I mark out 9 different things that I track using a reading spreadsheet. So I track genre, format, source, author, audience, series, country, publication year, and where I acquired them from. So in January, I read 8 books. I read 2,740 pages, which is all right. Average rating 3.6, not amazing. And then I here was marking the number of days in the month I read, but obviously I will stop tracking that. For genre, mostly my biggest genre is going to be romance. Format, I read 6 novel, 2 graphic novel. My sources were pretty split between physical, ebook and audio, so that's nice. That's probably the ideal way to get through books for me, to be honest. Author, I mostly read new to me authors. I actually think this year I have mostly read new to me authors. Audience, I read mostly adult but 1 middle grade, which was T-Dragon. Series was a direct split between series and standalone. I do also mark the country the books are featured in, because on my reading spreadsheet it has a really fun country map and it like colours them in based on how many countries you've read from, so it's really fun. But I had to have my own country of fantasy world because it just felt like, well, they're not always an actual country. Publication year, read more to 2023 books, but a pretty good range there. And then where I acquired them from was pretty split as well. I have then done some spreads for either books I've really enjoyed or books where it just felt like a spread would be worth it, because not all of the books I give 5 stars to will have enough art online that I could do a little spread with. I'm not a particularly creative person, so I like this because it's sort of easy to do, you know, it's easy creativity, but I appreciate other people could do way more. There's so many amazing reading journals online, but mine is hopefully, I don't know, a little bit of an idea of how you could do one that's maybe a little bit more like lower effort, I guess. So first up, we've got this double page spread. We've got this one for the T-Dragon Society. I always forget the characters' names in this one, so I thought it would be good to have them written out because I do have the 2 others in this series, so I can refer back to this when I read the books. And what I like with this one is the artist, because this is a graphic novel, the artist Kate O'Neill has got loads of art online, so it meant I could just put some of that in here. And I've got these stickers that I bought where I've just kind of like layered them, and I really like how that looks. I think this spread's really cute. And then for my yellow face spread, which I just loved this book so much, so I had to do a yellow face one. And I've just pulled out like different covers or bits of art with like the typewriters. I have these, I've actually got them next to me, these like strips of like washi paper that I got from Etsy. So I just pulled some of those out to make like a layered banner. So yeah, it's, you know, it's, as I say, pretty low effort, but I like how it looks. It's really yellow, so that's really cool. I then did a double page spread for Lore Olympus because Lore Olympus is one of my favourite graphic novel series. Like overall, this series is a 5 star. It's so much fun, and there's so much fan art for Lore Olympus online. So it was really easy to get some fan art that I could put in here. But also I find Lore Olympus very difficult to follow because there are a lot of characters, and I always, when I'm watching it, when I'm reading it, think, oh, it would be really good if I could have a family tree. And then I found a family tree online. So I thought, this is perfect. Then whenever I'm reading a Lore Olympus novel, I can just have a look at this spread. So I'm really happy with this. It's like, I feel like this is actually essential for my enjoyment of Lore Olympus, to be honest. Then we get into February. So for February, I've gone for a Love Witch theme because obviously February, love month, and it's very pink. It's really cute. It's very pink. So I read 13 books in February with 4,717 pages. So much better in February than in January. My average rating went up to 3.8, so pretty good. These are all the books I read. These are my stats. As I say, steady up with YouTube, not so great for Instagram. And then I changed up the format for February. So whereas with January, I'd written the title just like in the middle, I felt it looked a bit messy. So what I went with was writing the number of the book and then just writing the title, and then it goes along. I'm not sure I've nailed the calendar really in my spreads, but I think this is the format that I went with for all my other ones. So yeah, this has got the 13 books that I read, and then I've also put in the 2 DNFs. And then for my stats, so genre was 7 romance, very high. I was reading a lot of arcs, so that makes sense. Format was 12 novel, 1 manga. Source, I listened to 7 on audio. Did I? That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't think I did listen to 7 on audio. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Sometimes I think I think there would have been 7 ebook. I've not got my white out down here, but yeah, that should be 5 audio and 7 ebook. Anyway, it's hard when I'm like translating stuff from the spreadsheet. Authors, 7 I read from before, 6 that were new to me. Audience, 8 adult, 4 YA. It's quite a lot of YA. Is that true? I guess so. Yeah, okay. I'm doubting myself now. I read 7 standalones and 6 that were from series. Not making enough progress in them. Countries is fun, mostly USA, but 4 for England. Publication year, 7 for 2024 because I mostly read arcs, and then 7 of them were from NetGalley. So yeah, as I say, that's where that sources one is the wrong way around. Then I did a spread for Daisy Jones because I just absolutely adored this book. The audio experience for this is amazing. All of these are from the show, which I've not watched yet. I would really like to. But it was just like a good way to like have a little bit of a spread for all the characters. And then I've just taken out some fan art that I found online, and then like a fake like album cover. So I only did a spread for Daisy Jones. I'm not doing them for every book, because that was part of what made me fall out of love with my reading journal last year, was feeling like I had to write a spread for every month for every book. Then for March, so I went with this really spring theme. I just think, March, spring, flowers, the days start to get lighter. Thought it would be a good option there. So now you can see that I've swapped in the number of DNFs that I had rather than the number of pages of the month I read, because I stopped tracking that. So I read 17 books in March. I was doing so much better at the beginning of the year. I read 4,790 pages, an average rating of 3.1, which is frankly pretty shocking. But I read so many books this month that I had to do a little like double tracker here. The reason I read so many was I did a big graphic novel reading day. So on this Sunday, I read like 7 graphic novels just to, work towards that reading goal. So you can see that my calendar looks a little bit weird because I couldn't fit them all in there. So this was my spread. So I had to do a double page spread for this one because obviously I had so many books to include. So we've got reads up here, and then I did DNF reasons for these 4 because I was just filling the space. So yeah, I DNF'd 4, was very sad about DNFing all 4 of them, to be honest, but got those in there. And then for the books that I did read, you can see there's a lot of 3 stars. We've got like a 2.5, a 1, a 2, another 1. Like, it was good to clear some of them off my TBR, but I did have some real winners. So Shades of Grey was a reread for me. It's a fantastic dystopian book. And then Bride, Ali Hazelwood, as I said, loved. So I feel like the mishmash of these colours looks so funky. So on this side, we have my stats. So a good like split on genre. Format, pretty good, but 8 of them were novels. I read 13 of them physically because I was really trying to get through that physical TBR. 10 new to me authors. Maybe I should just read more from authors I know and trust. A lot of YA in audience because of the graphic novels. 11 of them were part of series, but again, not necessarily finished series. I did finish out the Sad Ghost Club though, so we'll take that. Countries, pretty even split, but a lot of them were set in a fantasy world. Publication year, very mixed. And then acquired, 8 of them were for Waterstones because I love to support Waterstones. But then I needed to fill this page because normally I have the graphs on this page and the book covers on this side. So I did a spread for Bride because there's so much fan art of Bride. I actually need to go through and put all the artist names for this one like I have for the others. But there's so much art out there for Bride, but it does not go. This is so distorted. But anyway, it's very fun. And as I say, there's so much really beautiful art out there. It's nice to just have it in my journal. And I just took art online and I just ripped the sticker paper up before I stick it down to like make it look kind of edgy. Then I did a double page spread for The Martian because I really enjoyed The Martian. It was just a really fun listening experience. It's read by Will Wheaton. It's really fun. You spend so much time with this guy who's stuck on Mars. And you know, you can do a lot of art for Martian because you can just pick Mars art. And there's a lot of fan art for The Martian because the book's been out quite a long time. It was made into a movie with Matt Damon as well. So I just found loads of Martians that I really like this spread. Like, it says nothing about the book, really. So much of my journaling spreads are just art, but I like it anyway. Then for April, I went for this like very October-y theme, but I have loads of stickers from Maragona Suli that could work for October, so I just went for this one in April because it's fun and why not. Didn't read a lot in April, so my calendar is looking a little bit depressing. I also need to go over some of these. I didn't have my stamps, so when I've kind of been working on my journal from here on out, I didn't have my stamps upstairs, so I do still need to go through and add some stamps in here and just go over these with pen. But anyway, then we have a look at the spreads. So because I'd only read 3 books, I've not put the star stickers under those. That's odd. Okay, I need to go back and do that. But because of that, I needed to fill the rest of the space. So because this was when I read Flawless and it was my first experience tabbing, and I just thought I'll just stick in some pictures of me having tabbed Flawless in here. I love it. I love how my Flawless looks tabbed. Like, I'm wondering whether I should up this book to 5 stars, but like I couldn't actually tell you what happens in it. So I don't think it is a 5-star, but I had a really good time. So yeah, obviously I only read 3 books, so my page count has dropped to 1,168, but my average rating was 3.5, so not bad. Didn't DNF anything. And then my graphs start to look a bit silly at this point because there's not many books there. So I won't really talk through them because, like, you know, a lot of them, there's only one colour, but still, it looks fun. It looks fun. Didn't do any spreads for any of those books because I'd basically done a spread dedicated to Flawless anyway, and I didn't have anything to say about the other 2. Then for May, this is like a dark academia theme, really fun. I found it really difficult to find a pattern that I liked with this one, but I am happy with the outcome. I read 10 books in May, so I was really surprised by that because I got married in May, so I would have assumed I'd had a terrible reading month, but I think I actually did a lot of my wedding prep in April. And by May, it was mostly done. So I was just reading in my spare time. So looks a lot more interesting for May. So these are the spreads. I did DNF 4 of the arcs in this month. So it's showing there. But the books that I did read in the main, I had like, it's a real run of the 4 stars, you know? So I think I was right to DNF these. Unfortunately, I didn't enjoy this graphic novel. I didn't rate it on Goodreads because I felt really bad rating it. But like, really, it's a 2-star for me. But yeah, in the main, was the run of the 4 stars. And I rate a lot of things 4-star. If I enjoy something and had a good time, I will rate something a 4-star. In terms of genre, so 6 of them were romance. Again, it's my preferred genre. See, but that's interesting though, because I've now not got in romantasy in here, but like I think this is a romantasy. So I must have classed it as fantasy. I'm a bit hit and miss with my classing of things as romantasy. So that's something I need to work on. Format, mostly read novels, mostly read physically, mostly read new to me authors, like really predominantly mostly read new to me authors. Audience, split between adult and YA really. 9 of them were standalone, really working towards those series goals, Kat, well done. Mostly set in the US. 5 of them were in 2023, so that's good, you know, more recent books, and then pretty split on where I acquired them. June, I'm obsessed with this one. I love this sunflower sticker. Just, she looks amazing. It's so fun. And I feel so gutted that I'd ended up allocating this one to June where I only read 2 books. So like, this looks pathetic, doesn't it? I also, when I peeled her up, I did rip her. So I've tried to like colour in her hat a bit I'm hoping it won't show much on camera, but it is obvious in real life. But yeah, I really love this. It goes so well with the sunflower pattern. It's just like a really fun cover. But yeah, I only read 2 books, so that's not so fun. So this page looks a bit silly because I've only got 2 books to include, so I didn't have a lot to put there. I only read 906 pages, average rating 3.5 because I rated 1 3 and 1 4. So I just did this big print of La Belle Sauvage. So this is the sequel, the prequel to the Philip Pullman trilogy, which I read, and this is from the play, and I have seen the play, like I watched it, a recording of it in the cinema. And so I just thought I'll just include that because it looks really good with the spread. It really works with the colours because these covers are both teal. So I really like it. There's not a lot to it, but I really like it. I won't bother going through the stats because there was only 2 books. So it's either 1-1 or 2. So it's not interesting. But it looks cute anyway. And green and yellow is like my favourite colour combo. So at least there's that. And then we kind of come to the end of the month spreads. So I then did this spread for Final Book Support Group, which is the week I am filming this in, is I'm currently working through this. So I've mapped out some books that are final books in series that I could focus on, some that would bring me up to date in series, and then books where I could make some progress in series. And then my plan when I finish the books, so I've just read Unfortunately Yours, is I will put in the like rating stickers that I have, which are from Planner Face as well, and I'll just colour in what I gave the rating. And then I need to figure out how I will mark off having completed a prompt. So I might like just stick a sticker on it or something to show that I achieved one of the prompts. So I'm really happy with this. I think this is a good way for me to like really hone in on focusing my TBR down a bit, because I've been feeling really overwhelmed with my physical TBR and not really knowing what to read because I have a lot to read. So this kind of streamlines it a bit and gives me a smaller pool to pick from, which I think is good. I have set up my July spread. July is my birthday month, so I've gone back to my pink and brown theme because this is my favourite one of the stickers that we have. I'm just so obsessed with it, and I love the paper that I chose online for this one. So we'll see how this goes. I'll obviously map that out, and then you can see I've like mapped out where my July book covers will go and my July graphs. And then I've also done a spread for Literature Readathon, which is hosted by Steph Loves, as is Final Book Support Group. She's doing this for all of August, and apparently August is the month of romance girly, as you've seen. And I thought that it would just be really fun to take part in another readathon. If I don't read a lot for it, I don't, but I just thought it would be fun. So what I've done is I've printed the what is it called? The like bingo board. And then I've marked in the wrong shade of pink, which is so annoying. But anyway, I've marked some book options for each of the prompts. And I could read this much in a month, but August is my busiest work month, so it's probably unlikely. But we'll see, We'll see what I can get read. But I just thought it was fun to like include some in here. And then this is also by Maragona Suli, but it's not like a sticker that she sold. It was an Instagram post that she made. So I just like printed that off and used it because obviously I've been using her art throughout the rest of it. And then I want to make some kind of thing here that says like Literature Readathon that I'll put there. I haven't left myself any room to do any book journaling spreads of anything that I read in July or have read in July, but so far I don't think I've read anything that I would do a spread for, so that's one I went straight in, but I can always just add one here before I go into August if needed. So that is it for my reading journal. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope maybe you've got some inspiration, or it was just fun to listen to me talk a little bit about how my reading's been and how things have been in my journal. I've still got a lot of space left of things to fill. It would be good if I could keep up with it a little bit more than having to batch do several months in one go, but that tends to be how I do things in my planner, so we'll see. But I will try and link as many of the things as I can related to this journal in the description down below. But if I forget and there's something you want to know where it's from, please do just drop me a comment and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe. Also in the description, I will have a link to my Instagram and my Goodreads if you'd like to check out any more content from me. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!